Well, we all try to do our hardest. We try our hardest to do what is best for our kids. The truth is, we can't make every decision for them. Now, if they make a bad choice, they find themselves in trouble, might need somebody to turn to. So joining us today to give us a little guidance is William Hall, attorney at law from Salisbury. And just to let you know, this is a topic that I'm really taking personally because I got a 15-year-old. He's right there on the cusp, and I've got a personal interest in what you have to say. Let's say, for instance, he goes out, wants to impress some friends, does something he should not do, winds up in cuffs. Let's say he gets charged with disorderly conduct. Now, to me, that sounds like a really minor thing, no big deal. Do I really need an attorney?
Absolutely. And there's many reasons that you should consult an attorney in such a situation like that. First of all, you don't want your son to have a criminal record. And most importantly, you don't want your son to go to jail. And that can happen very easily. And just recently, a young man appeared in court by himself here for disorderly conduct. He had no prior record. It was a relatively minor situation. Young man went in there, represented himself, ended up going to jail for 60 days.
Wow.
So now he's going to have a criminal record. He's going to do 60 days in jail. And that's something that's going to haunt him the rest of his life.
Okay, so we're talking disorderly conduct. What does that include? What does that mean?
Disorderly conduct can cover a whole variety of behaviors, but it's basically you're disturbing other people by being loud and obnoxious. You see this happen quite often on the boardwalk in Ocean City, or if they're at a loud party. The police will issue a lot of citations for disorderly conduct, and you have to go to court for that. And it could carry up to 60 days in jail.
Wow. Okay, so let's say he just does something stupid. Bless his heart, he just does something stupid. He tries to walk out with a can of soda, maybe a cheap pair of sunglasses. How bad could this possibly be?
Well, then you're looking at the charge of theft under $100, okay? And that can carry up to 90 days in jail here in Maryland. And what people don't realize is the last thing you ever want on your criminal history is the charge of theft, because employers will see that, and the last person you ever want to have to hire is a thief. So what turned out to be a very minor incident, just a one-time incident of bad behavior, can turn into a life sentence for you, with a theft conviction dogging you the rest of your life.
Wow. Are there other what we might consider minor or trivial things like this?
Well, what I have seen more and more here recently is young people coming to court by themselves for simple possession of marijuana. And they're under the impression that somehow marijuana has now been legalized, which it's still illegal. You cannot possess marijuana. And so they'll have a very casual attitude about it, but what they don't realize is the fact that most judges are very conservative people, and there are still some judges out there that will put you in jail for a first-time offense for possession of marijuana.
So don't get caught off guard with it. Okay, let me talk about, and I just want to clarify this, make sure I understand this. First-degree assault is like, I'm going to fight you. I'm coming after you, I'm going to fight you.
Right.
What is second-degree assault, and what can that mean?
In Maryland, second-degree assault can cover a whole variety of behaviors. And second-degree assault in Maryland can carry up to 10 years in jail. And it can cover behavior from anything where you make somebody flinch in apprehension of fear, or it can be as straightforward as a fist fight. And in order to be convicted of second-degree assault, you don't necessarily even need an injury. And so a lot of people think, well, it was a relatively minor incident I was involved in, nobody was hurt, but you could still be convicted of second-degree assault, and that could carry up to 10 years in jail.
That can be a long time.
Absolutely.
So for me as a parent, and all the things that we just talked about, all the things that you brought to mind, the thing I have to remember is what it could mean long-term for my teenager.
Exactly, and a lot of people never ever think about the long-term consequences of a criminal conviction. People spend oodles of money to send their children to college to try to get ahead in the workforce, but if you have a criminal conviction on your record, all of that can be for naught. So don't be penny wise and pound foolish. If your son or daughter is arrested, make sure they get an attorney, because what may seem like a minor situation can turn into something much, much larger.
Much bigger than that. We don't want that. William Hall, attorney at law in Salisbury, thank you for that information. That's some good stuff. I appreciate that. Whew. Well, still to come on Delmarva Life, catching fish, crabs, other critters in the bay. We're going to learn more about a program on Delmarva that teaches your little one about marine life. Plus, thousands of softball players from across the country and Canada on their way to Delmarva to take part in one of the largest tournaments in the world. Why Comico County has ever hosted it. Why it's so much more than just softball. Delmarva Life. Life at its best here on Delmarva.